Good evening and happy game week. Welcome to State of the Tigers here on PowerMizzou.com. We have survived another offseason. The games start 71 and a half hours from right now. Mizzou and the University of Central Arkansas on Thursday night. We are going to talk about that plenty this evening. Before we do that, want to remind you that we're going to be brought to you every Monday night throughout Missouri football season and really basketball season and the rest of the year too. But right now you only care about football season by James Carlton, State Farm Insurance in Webster Groves, Missouri. If you live in Missouri or Illinois, get in touch with James at carltoninsurance.net or give him a call at 314-961-4800. James has a lot of big plans with Kevin Coleman, Josiah Trotter, Mizzou NIL stuff this year. He is a huge Missouri fan. He wants to save you some money on insurance. So get in touch with him. Get that taken care of. And we appreciate James for being with us for another year. Appreciate you guys being with us for another year. And now going to pop Jarod Hamilton on the screen. Jarod, this is where we answer the important questions. So here is the most important question on my mind through week 0 of college football season. Have you ever gotten in a fist fight with your father, and was it videotaped and put on social media?
No. See, here's the thing with my pops. My pops is like 6'5", a good 330, 340, and he did 12 years in the Army. It's not really the smoke I'm looking for. If we be me and my pop, it's not what I want. It's not what I want.
I feel like you're losing that. But I mean, I don't know how old your dad is. I don't know if he's old enough for you to win that yet. But
no. He's still. I'm still losing that one. Now I think I'm quick, but
Billy's got the video. For those of you who don't know, we're talking about Avery Johnson, the Kansas State quarterback. His dad and his other son, Billy's playing the video right. I'm not kidding, Jarod. I can't remember the last college football story I liked this much. It was maybe the stripper at Texas. That was a pretty good one, but I don't know, man. This is as good as anything I've seen in a while.
It's just bad all around. First off, you're in the little puddle. You out here fighting your son in public, and you're a loser. If you're the son and you get beat up by your pops, look at you. And if you're pops and you're getting beat up by your son, look at you. Like, it's tough.
I mean, tough. I gotta know how many Guinness were involved in that fight, because I just can't. Like somebody that covers Kansas State. If we covered Kansas State, this would be the only story I wrote about. Like, I would exhaust every avenue I had to do an expose of like what happened between Avery Johnson's dad and his older brother, and then I would be doing like. I mean, I would become a film expert, and I would buy new software to do breakdowns of this fight every day on our site.
Okay, so what do you think happens next? Is this one of those situations where because I've seen they put out a joint statement.
Yeah, they put out a statement that they learned from it.
Is there you see something where they go to another game and they're arm in arm trying to be cool? Like, this is my guy. Is that what's next?
They should like tweet the Step Brothers meme. Did we just become best friends? Right. But like, in all seriousness, if I'm Avery Johnson, I called home the next day. I go, you don't get to come to any more of my games. Like, I don't know if you ever played like Little League baseball, or you played a basketball game or something, and one of your parents got hot in the stands and a referee, like, that's embarrassing enough, man. But that's not this.
Yeah. I just think it's funny because I'm pretty sure this is probably still in Kansas State, where they're watching the games, at bars or something, I'm guessing. I'm not.
Oh, no, I think this was in Dublin.
Oh, well, here's
like outside the stadium.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. If this is in Dublin, those people are nice, because I'll tell you this. There's a lot of areas where they letting y'all scrap. Y'all want to fight like this. There's no breaking it up, especially if we don't know you. So good for them for being there and making it a little quick, a little skirmish.
Love it. Like, look, guys, I know we're here to talk about Mizzou, and we'll do that. But I can't name any players on the team they're playing this week, so we can't go too deep on that. But like, this was too good to not talk about a little bit off the top of the show. Mark and Anthony Johnson have sincerely apologized for their actions in Ireland, so good for them. I did put on Twitter, I think that Drink should have Bo and Sam's dads fight on the bridge over Providence Road after the game on Thursday, and the winner gets to be the starting quarterback against KU. Like, this seems like a perfect way to solve the quarterback issue to me.
I mean, what do you do if you're Bo or Sam and your pops loses? Not only did he embarrass you and lose you the job,
He's the starting quarterback guy.
I mean, yeah, if you win, but then again, how much do you get now? Because now people can say your pops got you the job. It's just a lose-lose for everything.
If Mizzou wins a natty, can we see Jarod and Gabe in a UFC cage match? Look, first of all, I am in 3 days, I turned 49. I ain't fighting any 25, 26-year-olds, okay? Second of all, I have been in one fight in my entire life, and I did not win it. I have not tried to get in a second one in the last 37 years. So,
Gabe, you know what? I honestly thought we was going the ACL route on this one. I thought that's what we was going to hear.
Use that too. Like, literally any excuse you can find, just put it in. Dustin Ludy says, one time at Father's Day for my fraternity, a brother and his father got into it. He put his father through a table and his father tried to gouge his eyes out. First of all, Dustin, are they Buffalo Bills fans? Like, maybe this is more common than I think. I don't know. My dad's never tried to fight me. I've never tried to fight my dad. Maybe this is a thing. I don't know.
In certain places, I'm not familiar with these get downs.
This is like where they film the backyard wrestling stuff. That's when fathers and sons are getting after it. So, all right, let's talk some Mizzou stuff. Two things that have just kind of popped up here in the last hour. First of all, 13th consecutive sellout, not a surprise. I mean, I think we all expected this game to sell out at some point. If it gets close enough to kickoff and it's not sold out, they find a company or they find a charity or somebody takes care of it. But 13th consecutive sellout. Hey, good news. We still do not exactly know the capacity of the stadium. Laird Veach told us last week he'd get that to us. Haven't heard yet, but he did say that they've managed to work with some of the visitor allotments, so there are going to be a few fewer visiting fans in the stands. And I mean, look, if Central Arkansas sells out, I assume we're selling out the season here.
Absolutely. Got the schedule right here. Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, UMass, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. For multiple reasons, at least I can see why they would be sold out sooner than that. So I can see all those games being sold out, and especially if they're doing well through the first 4 or 5 games like we expect. Yeah.
I don't know if Mississippi State is a sellout yet. The only way I think they don't sell out every home game is if they're like 5-4 when Mississippi State comes to town and they're not playing for a lot. Mississippi State sucks, but I still think they'll sell it out. And I've had a lot of people hit me up that they were kind of upset that the homecoming game is against UMass in September. Let me just tell you guys why they did that. First of all, they have this weird-ass schedule with 6 straight home games. So the only home game in October is Alabama on October 11th. Well, that game's selling out anyway. Like that Alabama game is going to be sold out. So the smart thing is just go, yeah, whatever. We'll just do homecoming September 27th against UMass because there will be people who come back because that's homecoming. And that way you make sure UMass sells out. If you do homecoming against Alabama, well, that's selling out anyway. Now you run the risk of 5th straight home game, UMass. Like, people might have stayed home for that one. So I think it was actually a really smart move.
Oh, and another thing, I was just thinking from a competitive standpoint on the field, like, who wants to go to homecoming? I know it's not a thing. Your point makes a lot more sense. But, yes, you can beat UMass on homecoming, and then you can have Alabama then 2 weeks later because there's a bye after the UMass game.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, that definitely used to be a thing. Schools would schedule games they felt really good about winning on homecoming. Now, with but that was before everything was on TV. That was when you could kind of set your games up a little more yourself. Now I don't think you really have much say. And I mean, like Missouri, every year there's only like 2 choices for the homecoming game, right? The schedule kind of dictates, hey, it's got to be this or this, and the SEC sets the schedule and ESPN and all that. So you don't have as many choices as you used to. Like, you can't guarantee that, hey, we're facing the 2-9 team on homecoming. The other thing, Jarod, I don't know if you saw this. I just retweeted it before we started the show. Guy that covers Oklahoma posted that he has a source telling him game day will be in Norman for Michigan, Oklahoma in week 2, which is not a big surprise, but for any Mizzou fans who were kind of holding out hope that they might come here, sounds like they're going to Norman, which I get it, man. It's 2 blue bloods. It's, you get OU when they're going to be, probably still undefeated. Whereas if you wait till later in the year, you may not be going to Norman because, man, their schedule is brutal.
And then Bryce Underwood, I think that's his name, the number 1 from the quarterback. He was just named a starting quarterback for Michigan. So even a little bit more intrigue around that game. Also, I seen somewhere in this chat, maybe Billy can find it. Like, someone said they didn't think game day would come without that other part of the end zone being fixed up. I don't know how often that happens or not, but I can also see that being something where it's just like,
well, yeah, but the thing is, like, game day would not likely be in the stadium.
Yeah,
like,
they'd be at the columns
they'd be down with the columns in the background. So I don't know that would necessarily have an effect. I think your best chance for game day is to be 5-0 going into that Bama game and hope Bama's undefeated. Now, they're going to get Bama anyway somewhere else along the line, but if you can be 5-0, you're going to be ranked, top 15 in the country, and you got Bama coming in here. I don't know what other games are played that day. There's probably some big time games, and I'm honestly not all that interested in breaking it down 7 weeks out. But I think that's probably your chance if you're going to get them here this year.
You don't like the South Carolina one in week 4?
It just doesn't seem like like it doesn't seem like a game ESPN will look at and think that's a big time game. I mean, Missouri, like, what best case scenario, Missouri's probably like 19th or 20th entering that game, right? Because nobody's going to care if they beat Central Arkansas and Louisiana. So really, you're looking at KU being your best win. I would be surprised.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of that as someone who's on the beat and thinking about the game last year and stuff like that. So that actually makes sense. That this early in the season, yeah. ESPN probably would.
I think, I know Feinbaum said something about being in Columbia for the KU game, so I would think the SEC show will be here. I'll be honest, I've never watched it. I'm sure it's phenomenal television, and they'll do a very nice job. So.
Well, I do. I mean, was it last year? It was last year when Lou was asking, like, or he made some comments alluding to, like, we're on the SEC network. It stinks to say, but Missouri may be like their it team, like SEC network.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not for long.
But
that's not what you want to be.
It's not. But for the SEC network, I know they love it.
Yeah. It's they've been on there a lot. They're on there on Thursday. I know the KU game's on ESPN too. I don't know if channels have been set for everything else. I'm sure we will answer that and have a story and a graphic for you guys every week to remind you what station to turn on your television. All right, so look, this is kind of a weird game because, like I said, I don't know a single player on Central Arkansas's team. I don't plan to learn one before Thursday night, or really after Thursday night, if I'm being honest with you. If I'm writing anybody's name from Central Arkansas, something has gone terribly wrong. Jarod, I do want to ask you real quick, can you name any famous, and these are athletic people in sports, can you name any notable alumni of the University of Central Arkansas?
Unless
There are three I know you would have heard of.
Unless Drink's sister that he mentioned during a press conference played.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. So but two of them are coaches. Two of them are college football coaches. The first one is Mike Norvell from Florida State. He is a University of Central Arkansas alum. Second one is Charlie Strong. I don't know where he's at right now, but Texas USF. There is a Hall of Fame basketball player who played at the University of Central Arkansas. Do you have any idea who it is? I know the chat's going to know, so don't look at the chat.
Okay, I'm going to block it off then. Can you give me the era? Like what time frame are we talking?
90s.
Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame. Top 50 player of all time.
Top
Second
50?
best player on his own team.
You said 90, second best player on his own team. All right, one more hint. Can I get the first letter of either the first or last name? You can choose. Let me get one.
Last name starts with a P.
Oh, I'm gonna be so disgusted.
You're gonna be mad.
Last name starts with
the Jeopardy music.
Last name started with a P, and they was the second best player on their team. I'm blanking. Who we got?
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting.
It is legitimately the only thing I knew about the University of Central Arkansas before I started this podcast. Corliss Williamson was also briefly their basketball coach.
Okay, see, when you said basketball at first, because I feel like we talked about this a few weeks ago, and I can remember.
Yeah.
I was thinking him. I had him in my mind. But when you said Hall of Famer, I'm like,
Yeah, no, Corliss played at Arkansas, coached at Central Arkansas, but Scottie Pippen, University of Central Arkansas Bear, and I don't know, one of the better sidekicks in NBA history, probably.
In sports history, really. I mean, he's a pretty good. That's a pretty elite number two.
Pretty good Robin there. Never was going to be Batman. So, all right, Scottie Pippen not suiting up on Thursday night. To our knowledge, I think he would be a badass tight end. Honestly, maybe not at this age, but back in the day. Can you name any Central Arkansas players?
Yes, I actually can.
I'm impressed.
Jalen Mosley, and I only know him. He's a freshman because when I was in my last job in Jackson, Tennessee, he was like one of my last players that I was covering and stuff like that. So I was looking up the roster, doing something for whatever I wrote yesterday, the notebook, the preview in the notebook. I'm sorry, it all runs together. And I seen him on the roster. I was just like, he's also a kid Mizzou was looking at for a little bit. Last year. So another reason.
You could have said legitimately any name there. Like if you would have said Byron Chambers, I would have been like, cool. I believe you that he plays for Central Arkansas. You could have made up absolutely any name. Point being, look, there's no, like I can't invent a scenario where this is an interesting game. If it is, it's not a great thing. That said, like I talked about three different positions on PM in the AM this morning that I'm kind of watching. We'll talk about quarterback. Everybody's obviously watching that. Outside of that, like, is there anything you're watching, anything you think you can learn in this game?
Offensive line continuity, especially week one, no matter who the opponent is, just penalties. That's usually the biggest things for most coaches, just offensive line work. Defensive line, are they dominating the trenches? I mean, this is a time where they should be feasting absolutely. And you said outside of quarterback, so I'm not really thinking of receivers.
Yeah, those two were the ones that I said this morning. First of all, offensive line, like these quarterbacks should not get hit. Like I'll give you maybe one bust, one thing happens, but they should not be. Their uniform shouldn't be particularly dirty. And if these defensive ends are as good as Missouri thinks they are, like you should see 6 sacks in this game because that's where the difference is on the line of scrimmage against these teams.
Right. And I'd say those two position groups, and then the third thing that I'm looking for isn't a position group, but just something. And it's this every single year to start the year. The Drinks talks about it's tackling. Um, it's kind of just like kind of continuity on offensive line and not having those mental errors. Is just form tackling. You shouldn't be having Central Arkansas run over you, run through you, any of that. And as much as they were talking about the linebackers and what they're doing, and then the improved safety group, got some decent tacklers in there. I'm looking to see, kind of how they shut down UCA.
I'm going to give you one other one. I want to see what the special teams look like, because I saw something earlier this week where apparently Missouri special teams were ranked 98th or something. That seems way too high, honestly. They seemed way worse than that to me last year.
I forgot exactly what I was looking up, but I feel like when it came to maybe it was like kick return or something like that, they were like
maybe
113th or something. Like they were only averaging less than. Yeah, they were.
I think they were average in place kicking, and I think they were just bad at everything else, the special teams. So look, I know fans will say, I don't want to see the punter in this game, and I get that, but I would kind of like to see the punter once or twice just to see him kick the ball. I would kind of like to see Blake Craig, need to finish off a 2-minute drill with a field goal, and I want it somewhere between 40 and 49 yards, because I know he's good from 55 and I know he's good from 30, but I don't know if he's good in between there. Those are so I want to see. I'd like to see those things. You should have plenty of chances to kick off. I want to see your kickoff covered. Special teams is actually a thing I think we can learn a little bit about maybe in this game.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things about the depth of this team. We talked, in the previous weeks about kind of being top heavy a little bit last year. We knew where the stars were, but the depth this year, I feel like it's a little reversed. And they've been talking so much about having so many guys like Jeremiah Beasley and Brian Huff, for example, who it's going to be hard for them to get snaps at linebacker, but now you've got quality guys, on special teams. So, yeah, that's a good one that you pointed out.
I think special teams is looking at the depth chart. I think that's the way Demarion Folks may play more than 4. He may not redshirt this year. He may find his way. I think he was in the mix at both kickoff return and punt return. Drink mentioned him in camp. I think he's a guy who sneakily could actually skip the redshirt this year in that role.
Yeah, that reminds me. So was it 2023? They had Josh Manning, they had Daniel Blood, and then they had Luke. No, Luther's 22.
Chris Abrams and Drain, maybe.
It was 3 receivers. I'm trying to think. Manning, Blood. Who's that other receiver? I can't remember.
Johnson did some.
Oh, yeah, Speedy Johnson. So, yeah, they did that in 2023. So, with Donovan and Demarion, that's good choices. I don't know if Sean Terry, he's not even on this punt return part, so maybe the odd one out there. But, yeah, at least a couple of them have good chances to not, redshirt.
Yeah. Want to remind you, we're going to get to some of your questions and stuff here in a second. Then we're going to talk about some other games. Week 1 college football. It's a hell of a week to get going. But do want to remind you, James Carlton's information scrolling across the bottom of the screen throughout. If you're here on YouTube, just check him out. He saved me a lot of money on my insurance. He can do that for you, even if you just want to call him up and ask him if he knows any Central Arkansas players. He loves talking Mizzou football this time of year. Just call him up and say, hey, do you know the famous Chicago Bull who played basketball at Central Arkansas? You can talk to him for a little while. 314-961-4800. Get in touch with him online at carltoninsurance.net. All right, Billy, I want to start with the question about the QB reps. I think it was from We Show You, maybe. It's a few up in the chat. Will Drinkwoods tell us the plan for how the QB reps are split, or will we have to wait for the game? Jarod, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe his exact phrasing was, I don't see a need to share that with you on Saturday. Was that right?
Pretty much.
That's fine. I mean, look, we are going to read way too much into how they split up the reps. I mean, but honestly, we did in the 2023 opener, I remember you and me sitting in the press box, and Brady Cook just kept coming out, and we go, oh, there's no quarterback competition here. This is over. If Sam's not playing, this is already decided. So whoever starts, if I don't see the other guy by at the latest the first drive of the second quarter, then this thing's already decided.
Yeah, and that person needs to hope it's not like 14 zip. Yeah, I feel like if it's 14 zip and starts that quarter, I'm just like,
but I want it to be 14 zip because I don't want 24-0 and then the other guy comes in, because then what the other guy does doesn't matter.
No, I don't want it to be. I mean, I'm thinking 14.
Oh, you're saying you want it like 7-3 or something.
If I was whoever's the second quarterback, let's say UCA has a decent drive or two, not that it necessarily leads to scoring or whatever, but you still feel like it's early in the game. If it's 14-0, I think UCA is already reeling by that point anyway, to me, even though that sounds normal to us.
Right.
For that program, it may be a little bit harder.
So what do you think he will say after the game on quarterbacks?
Unless it's lopsided, like a lopsided performance by one of them, he's not going to tell us directly after who's starting.
He's going to say, I got to watch the film.
I've got to watch the film, and I got to watch the film, and I got to talk to the guys. I mean, I think the cool thing is after the game, he should say it right there. Hey, you earned it by your play or whatever. This is the last test. And then when he comes talks to us, I'll talk to the guys. I'll tell the team we're going to move forward with quarterback X. But that's not what's going on.
Unless it is just incredibly obvious, like unless one guy throws for 280 and the other guy has 2 picks, I don't think he says it publicly before the KU game.
Yeah,
I think he makes KU prepare for both guys.
I was going to say, yeah, it gets into the competitive advantage stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Which is funny because he said at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of camp, he said he wouldn't do it for that reason, but I think he's going to do it for that reason.
Of course, especially because it's who the opponent is even more, even though, yeah, like you said, he admitted that both quarterbacks are inexperienced, but I feel like even maybe it was you who said it, like once they play this game, even though it's UCA, that is tape. Teams will have that in theory. So that could be enough that these other coaches can scout it. But do you think there's a scenario where they play the game and he doesn't reveal it to us and, they have practices, and in those practices, whether we know or not, those practices, they're still competing, or you think this is really the final cutoff?
If it's as close as he is making it seem, then yes, I think they could still be competing. But I mean, look, in an ideal world, by Tuesday, when we get to see practice, one guy's getting the reps, man. Like he's throwing to the starters and he's behind the first team offensive line. But I just don't know what Central Arkansas is really going to teach you. Like, I expect both these guys to go out there and light it up. I think the only way this game could actually be the deciding factor is if one of them plays badly.
I wonder what the game script is going to call for it too, because
you got a quarterback competition, man. You can't be out there running the ball.
I was about to say
2 times. You're trying to figure this out. You're going and throwing the ball, and you're doing it for 3 full quarters.
We'll see. I mean, Drink likes to pass the ball. So, however, he also hates turnovers very much. And I feel like the second one, if that happens, they'll get real conservative, and they're just trying to end it. And then they'll probably
that's the one thing I do not want to see on Thursday night. I do not want to see hey, we're up 21-3. We're just going to run the ball 30 times to get out of here. You are trying to identify your starting quarterback. I don't care if you score 80. That's Central Arkansas's fault. You are throwing the football with those 2 guys to see what they can do in a game situation.
I agree. I just think after a little bit, you start just thinking, okay, let's get some of these other guys run. Let's not risk X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. I can see that world happening, but I agree. They should be throwing the ball quite a bit.
And I mean, I'm fine with the backup receivers and everything, but if you are trying, again, how this unfolds is going to be telling. Is he actually trying to find a starting quarterback, or does he already know and just doesn't feel like telling us? We will be able to tell. And if it's the second one, truly, I don't care. That's his prerogative. If he wants to do it that way, whatever, it doesn't bother me. It's his program. He can do it that way if he wants. But I think we will find out a lot about that on Thursday night. Totally Trav's question, if we could pop that up about Matt Zollers. That's actually what I want to see on Thursday night, Jarod. I want to see Matt Zollers play the game. Because, like, the ball looks different coming out of that kid's hand.
He's got some zip.
He's the best quarterback that Eli Drinkwitz has recruited, in my opinion.
Physically, that's a textbook prototypical quarterback. He's got an arm. I mean, he's got an arm and his passes look nice. I also think I could see him having a bit of the Cam Newton problem where he's putting so much zip on it, you may hurt your finger trying to get it. I was gonna
say, don't accuse him of stealing laptops, man. That's not cool.
Oh, we're not doing that to Cam. Cam is one of them. But I hear you. But there's some passes in practice where I'm just like, oof, maybe not that much zip, but he's got an arm for sure, and the ball looks real nice one.
It's what Sam Horn did the first time we saw him play, right? He threw one 960 miles an hour at Barrett Bannister and about got us decapitated.
Yeah, he almost got his boy depleted. Don't need that.
But I agree with Mark Fenton. He says, assuming they're up big, Zollers gets the fourth quarter. I agree, and that's the advantage of having this. That's the advantage of having this new redshirt rule. Like, because you got to remember too, Matt Zollers missed most of last year. Like, he hadn't played a football game in a long time. Getting him out there would be like you want to get him a little bit of run on Thursday night, because look, he's gonna redshirt this year. He's not gonna be your starting quarterback or anything, but if you can get him out there, that's great. It keeps kids engaged. So yeah, that's another thing I'm looking for. I'd like to see him. Mike's asking if they let the quarterbacks run the ball. You have to, man. That's part of the game, especially Bo Perbula. Yes.
Oh yeah, you've got to. I mean, for what we think, basically, if we had to compare him, like Sam, is this physically bigger, stronger athlete type of guy?
But I think he's a better athlete than people think. Like, I think he can run. Sam.
No, I'm saying that. Yeah, he's a really good athlete. And Bo, I'm not saying he's not, but he's a little bit smaller than him. He's still like 6'2" or something like that. But doesn't throw as hard. He's more about precision, accuracy, a little bit more shorter game and stuff like that, but running the ball is something he does well. So, yeah, you can't eliminate that part of the game to say injury risk, especially, again, because it's a QB competition. We were saying we knew who the guy was. I get your point, Mike, but you got to let them both do how you're going to run the offense anyway.
Go out there, give them the full offense, let them take off. And, again, if it is as close as they say, if they really think they have two good quarterbacks, let them run. If one gets hurt, you still got the other one.
Yeah, your house money.
I'm not saying you want them hurt against Central Arkansas, but you get the point.
Yeah, house money.
All right. If we got any other Mizzou questions, Billy, pop those up, and if not, we'll turn our attention to a few other. Will Ahmad Hardy get pulled before he reaches 300 yards? I expect Ahmad Hardy to have fewer than 10 carries in this game.
I'm thinking maybe 50-ish yards, just because it's week one. They're going to try to get some other running backs going, and you have a QB competition going. I expect the first – well, he's going to have a good day versus Kansas as far as, like, workload. But Central Arkansas, Louisiana, UMass, those games I can say, they're reeling it in. Then that Alabama game going forward, you start giving them a workload like you see Cody Schrader mid-year in 2023.
And South Carolina if you need to.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't – that's why I didn't count that. I was counting those other games where it's just like you shouldn't be using them that much.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I think you treat Ahmad Hardy the way people are talking about treating the quarterbacks. Get him out there. Get him sweat. Give him 2-3 drives. Then let's see Jamal Roberts, Marquise Davis, maybe even throw Tavoris Jones, Brendan Haygood out there a little bit. Like, Ahmad Hardy is going to get his work. I don't need him having 20 carries in this game.
They need to treat this like the scrimmages pretty much. I mean, in the scrimmages, he didn't even – I think he played one, and we didn't get to see that one, like the first one. So, yeah, like you said, get him the touches, and then you know what he can do. You don't really need to see it.
Yeah, get him a couple drives, get him in the end zone, and will we hear from Drink again before the game Thursday? Are they doing the SEC coaches call on Wednesday? That's the thing or
The
not?
SEC call. I haven't heard about it. I gotta check.
I haven't gotten an email about it yet, but that's the only chance we might have would be on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I can see real quick though.
My guess is no, but I don't know. They usually send something out on Tuesday, so if they're doing that on Wednesday, we'll pop on there and see what Drink says. Billy says they do have the call this week, so we'll pop on there and see what Drake says. So, do you think Coleman is wide receiver 1, or is it Marquise Johnson season?
It's absolutely Coleman. That's
why you brought him here.
Yeah, he's already proven it though. Like I get Marquise Johnson and the speed and stuff, but he's a third-team All-SEC receiver last year, and I've said this in plenty of stories. Statistically, he had a better season than Luther Burden. So
he should have gotten first-team All-SEC last year. Luther got it on name recognition.
Absolutely, and this doesn't mean though I would still take Luther talent-wise, but yes, off of what the award should be. He was the number 1 receiver on a bad team where everybody knew he was getting the ball, and he still almost got 1,000 yards and had over 70 receptions and 6 touchdowns. So it's Coleman.
Yeah. Did you hear anything about how Damon Wilson looked in camp? I did hear somebody late who happened to see a practice told me Damon Wilson had a freak show day the day he happened to be able to see some things, but he's one of the guys I'm really interested to see.
I feel like there's some guys on the team where we didn't hear about them because it's kind of expected. Like, let's focus. They're focused on other things. Like Damon Wilson. Yeah, I've maybe like once or twice during camp I've heard like, Damon's done this and that, but he's a guy where we'll see him come, the season time. You'll get more looks and stuff like that. But for now, or during fall camp, it was just kind of like, we know what he's going to do. We're looking at Darius coming back and how Langdon Kitchen assimilates and the freshman and all that other stuff. So I assume he had a good camp.
Somebody also mentioned the weekly show. That's another time we'll hear from Drink. He's doing Tiger Talk tomorrow night. Blake Wallace is going to go down there for us and check it out, and he's going to have some notes posted on the board. Drink doesn't generally break news or say anything super exciting on that. It's more PR stuff like that. But every now and then he'll say something. So we will monitor that and let you know if he says anything. Does Tommy Locke enter the game? No.
Because
Tommy not playing.
Honestly, if there's any reason where you would think
that's a waste of time.
If you give Tommy those snaps, you would be thinking, why not give those to Zollers, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is not like, hey, credit to Tommy Locke for being around and he puts in a ton of time and all that, but this isn't participation medal time where everybody on the roster plays in a game, not a quarterback, man. I mean, you're trying to figure out the quarterback. I saw somebody had asked if KU was week 1, do you think he would have named a starting quarterback?
Yes.
You think so?
You can't go into your biggest rivalry game in 13 years and talking about, I'm going to split the reps. That's not going to
I think he's going to. I mean, he may not split the reps in week 2, but I'm not sure he's going to name a starter before that game publicly.
Well, I'm just thinking by the time if the Kansas game was week 1, we would see only one quarterback play. That's
okay. I got it. Yeah. I think that's possible. Yeah. See, I know this is just a troll asking about the uniforms. I want them to wear no school colors. I want uniforms that have no black, no gold, no white in them. All anthracite all day. That's what I root for.
Oh, anthracite is crazy.
So, all right. So, look, we'll have predictions this week. We'll have full coverage. We don't mean to blow past this game, but again, it's Central Arkansas. We'll make a big deal out of it Thursday. We will cover it like we will cover every other game. But we can't give you guys the scouting breakdown. We're not having somebody that covers Central Arkansas on the show, anything like that. We'll do that in future weeks, certainly not this specific one. So let's talk about some of these other games. I mean, I saw somebody say the worst thing about playing on Thursday is you have to wait 2 extra days for another game. You know what the best thing about them playing on Thursday is? I got Saturday to watch college football, and I got Friday night to watch college football, and I got Sunday night to watch college football. And this week I even got Monday night to watch college football. Like, I love the Thursday opener because now we get all weekend to check out these other games.
Yes, and something the last couple of years that I've started to really enjoy is like, yeah, that Sunday night, Monday night football thing they've been doing, where it's like a key marquee game. I think this week is LSU Clemson, maybe is one of those.
LSU Clemson's on Sunday, and I think it's ECU North Carolina maybe on Monday in the Belichick game.
Yeah, okay. So like the game I'm thinking outside of Texas, Ohio State, yeah, that LSU Clemson game, that sounds like a good one. And then I'm just thinking, what was last year's? Was it LSU USC or?
I think it was LSU Clemson last year too. I could be wrong, but
nah, I remember
USC. I know USC played somebody good early. You know, Georgia's played Clemson early before.
Yeah, I enjoy those games. This is a good appetizer to the NFL the next week carrying over. But yeah, I like Thursday. You know what? I said this the other day. Every single game needs to be Thursday night at 9 a.m. Forget class and all of that. Just
Thursday night at 9 a.m. is a little difficult to do. But
yeah, my brain ain't computing all the way. It's a lot of work. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. So we can get it out the way and get to watch football like everybody else on the weekend.
Got you. Billy confirms it was LSU USC last year. You were right. So I think that was the one that all Missouri fans got excited about Miller Moss in the portal for. Notre Dame, Miami this week. Look, the best game of the weekend is, 11 a.m. Saturday, baby. Park it, Texas, Ohio State.
That's so crazy.
This is what I love about the playoff is that you can play this game and you can lose this game and it's okay. Like, it makes it tougher. It takes away some margin for error. But like losing this game is not going to knock either of these teams out of contention for anything. So it encourages you to go play games like this.
Yeah, it can only really it can give you a great boost. It can give you that leg to stand on if you happen to have a bad loss some part during the season. And you don't really expect these teams to. But yeah, I just beat the national champions, or I just beat the AP #1 or preseason #1. That's a good leg to stand on. So I'm excited. I wrote this the other day in my column. I'm not a big noon kickoff guy. It's just not. It's not for me.
Like the show or the time?
Both. It doesn't. It's not anything bad that they do. It just doesn't get me amped up to watch the game. Like, I'm gonna probably watch game day before I watch them, but I need this game to be at night.
See, I don't watch any of the pregame shows anymore, to be honest with you. Like, I love the 11 a.m. game. I love the best game of the day at 11 a.m. because I can get up, I can get what work done I got to do. I go to the gym real quick, and I come back and sit down and watch 11 a.m. What do you got, Texas or Ohio State?
Damn, I didn't even think about it. Like, I haven't even thought about a prediction. Right now, let's go. My gut is giving me Texas. But I would want Ohio State to win this game.
I would take Ohio State because it's at home. I understand they're breaking in a new quarterback, but really so is Texas. I think Ohio State wins this game at home. I think they'll be juiced up, probably unveil a national title banner, do those things, all that. One of the other ones Billy has called up is Alabama, Florida State. Is this a big game? Like, no. It kind of is. It is because Alabama's in it. Like, it's a big logo game, but like Florida State.
Oh no, you gotta watch that taste out your mouth of Florida State. You can't go 2-10 on my TV and then you tell me the next year is the Bronx.
I think that game's over by halftime.
They got Castellanos. Is that how we saying it? The Boston College guy.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, no.
He's gonna get beat up real quick.
This is gonna be 45-11.
Oh, it's gonna be what was it? Georgia and Florida State in the Orange Bowl a couple years ago when they both missed out.
Yeah.
it's gonna get
Yeah.
real nasty.
Yeah, not a big fan of that one. LSU Clemson, man, that's
my
like
game.
everybody's saying this is Dabo's best team, and since the Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson run.
Really.
Look, like I don't think he gets fired this year, but like Brian Kelly's been playing a lot of these games, but he got to win one of these games, man.
Yeah, he's got to just get over the hump. This is why they brought him in, and then ironically, you leave Notre Dame and they're
right. You leave Notre Dame and talk about how you can't make a playoff, and
yeah, look at them. So he's got to get over the hump. I'm really interested. Garrett Nussmeier, good quarterback. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if I'm seeing the complete hype to the Heisman level. I don't know if that's me. I'm eager to see what that's going on. And then Clemson, I've been interested for a couple years just because Dabo and this no transfers thing, whatever he got going on, like, I guess. And they also got this difference.
Well, I think the reason it can work is because he's in the ACC. Like, ACC is brutal, man. There's like 3 good teams in the ACC.
No, I get that. But you've won national championships and stuff like that. You, for a good period of time, was one of those top 3-4 teams. So that's kind of where you put. So just winning the conference isn't enough sometimes.
Right.
But he's still recruiting great players, and like Peter Woods. I don't know if you've seen that defensive tackle.
Oh yeah.
He's a monster. He's going to be one of the top picks next year. So I'll be looking at him.
Here's so you mentioned about not knowing about the hype with Nussmeier. Should I buy this like 1-1 talk with Gabe Klubnik? Is he that good?
In a similar vein to Nussmeier, I like Cade a little bit more. But they seem in a similar realm of good college quarterback. I don't know if I'm buying the 1-1 Heisman for either one of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I think we just do this with quarterbacks. We're like, hey, who are some pretty good quarterbacks? And then we just start throwing them in the top 3 of the draft because somebody will take them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they should go there. But they've got a full year. Like, let's see what they do.
Yeah, I've got to see some games before I'm just throwing either one of them anywhere near the 1-1 or Heisman, to be honest.
So here's a game I put in 5 games I want to watch this weekend that it's not like the other ones. Auburn Baylor has a lot of intrigue for me on Friday night. I'm interested in that game because that's 2 programs that, like, there's a little smoke around the coaches. Like, neither one of them is going to go win the league they're in, I don't think. But, like, the winner of this game, hey, that's a really good start, whereas the loser is all of a sudden behind the 8 ball going, maybe we're not going to be as good as we want to be.
Yeah, they feel like in their respective conferences, they're in the same weight class. Like,
I think that's probably right.
Yeah. So for a Friday game, yeah, that's watchable TV. I'm not gonna lie. If it was on Saturday, I'm not.
Right. If it's opposite Texas, Ohio State, I'm not turning it on. But as a Friday night game to kind of get you into the weekend, I like that. Notre Dame, Miami. Look, I'm just gonna say it, man. I don't know if it can happen. Can they just both lose? Could we have that happen?
Wait. Oh, again, is this Catholics versus convicts? Like, how many years later?
It could be. It could be.
I'm interested about Miami. I don't know who the quarterback is there, replacing Cam Ward, or maybe it's just going over my head.
It's Carson Beck.
Oh, right, that guy. Decent quarterback. I got to see what's around this team. And then Notre Dame, I'm just looking for Jeremiah Love. Like, yeah. I just like him.
Somebody asked who Notre Dame's quarterback is. It's Lloyd Carr's grandson, the former Michigan coach. CJ Carr is Notre Dame's starter. Look, I don't know if you saw last week in 10 Thoughts. I picked Notre Dame to win the national title. Really? I think Marcus Freeman is doing what Urban Meyer did at Ohio State. And he's taken a program that historically has not been like athletically on par with the SEC, and he's making it athletically on. Like, he is getting dudes. Now, they've got a new quarterback, so that's the question mark. But, like, he has got dudes on that team, man. Like, if you watch them play in the playoff last year, their problem was not that they weren't athletic enough to keep up. They can keep up with these other teams at corner, at wide out, and they got the best running back in the country.
Is that's a Saturday night game? Do you know?
I do not know off the top of my head. I think that's right, but I'm not positive. Sunday night.
Oh, so this and LSU Clemson?
I think this is the Sunday night game. I don't know. I've messed up the schedule. People can figure it out. They know I'm not the TV guy.
Yeah, that is right. But if it happened to be like a Sunday night doubleheader, I definitely sign me up for that.
Okay. LSU Clemson Saturday night.
Okay. That's still
Miami Sunday night. And then, like, I'll watch North Carolina TCU on Monday night because
the game will be
there's
on.
not a Monday night football game, but that doesn't hold a lot of interest for me.
It's a do work, and because football is on, like the game is on, but it's not like a locked in game because all I need to see is Bill Belichick in the powder blue for like 3 little shots, and then I'm like, okay, he's not on the field, so I can't. It doesn't do that much for me.
Okay, in relation to like Taylor Swift camera shots at Arrowhead, how many times have we seen Belichick's girlfriend on TV in that game?
Maybe just once or twice. And the reason I say that is because I can tell Bill and them don't want her to be on there that much.
Bill will be like, we ain't doing that.
We're not doing the cutting some. Yeah, we're not doing.
I did see an interesting thing that I hadn't thought about on Twitter today. TCU is playing North Carolina in Belichick's first game. They also played Colorado in Deion's first game.
Colorado's first game wasn't versus Nebraska.
No, that was like week 2. The first game was against TCU.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Because what's it, the big noon kickoff? They was living in Boulder for a second. It was like back to back.
Yeah.
2 or 3 games in a row.
Atheo says no kiss cam at the Carolina TCU game. I'd be a fan. Put Belichick and his 18-year-old girlfriend on the kiss cam.
We gotta move on.
So look, guys, it's here, man. This is a fun week. Like, everybody is national title hopes. Central Arkansas, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they do. Again, I don't know anybody on their team. I don't know what they're thinking. Don't plan to find out. But it's here. Week 1, game week. We made it, man. Only like 2 more days of previews to write.
It's literally to start my column. I'm like, thank goodness, because for me specifically, I'm the only one writing like this team and doing previews from the end of last year, this year. And fall camp is basically, it's like 1 week of, okay, this is different, but it's a lot of confirming previews and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm ready for the real stuff.
Yeah, it'll be fun. 6:30 kickoff on Thursday night. Games on SEC Network. We'll be over at the stadium, 4:30, something like that. We will have full coverage for you. We got the Yingling post-game show afterwards. So, I don't know, we're looking at like a probably 10:30 start time, 11 o'clock start time for that, something like that. We'll roll out of the press box sometime in the middle of the night on Friday. But look forward to it, and appreciate you guys being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, watch all the stuff on the channel. We got about a little more than 48 hours left. If you don't subscribe to Power Mizzou, 50% off your first year, $1 for your first month. That's going to go for a little more than 48 hours. So we ask you to check that out and join us for the season. Elite coverage all year long. And I don't know, you got any parting words, man? Or are we good?
We're good.
We're good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.